This is how we're doing it today, people. As soon as first time having to do this on my mobile phone, was not expecting it just to go live immediately, but we are. So we are going to just set you up right here and just pray for the best. All right. Let's be entertaining, Trey. This is not ideal. This is not how I wanted to start my first episode of Next Day Notes running solo. A day late. Apologize off the rip to my man Keith, who gave me the show. Apparently, sick sucks. I'm a baby when I'm sick. But yeah, I got sick. And I couldn't even function yesterday. Today, barely good. This is not ideal. What I was going to end up doing is going live with my actual cameras or the desk. My buddy Branden is going to be doing the show with me going forward. But this week here, I've just been so under the weather and not feeling good and just sick. And to be honest, the episode that I'm starting off with, which is the Netflix Mayhem at Madison Square Garden episode of Kill Tony, I'm not a big fan of the arena shows. In fact, I hate them to an extent because it takes away from what I like about Kill Tony. But from some reason, this episode of the Netflix episode is different. I've watched the thing 7 freaking times in the past 3 days because I've been falling asleep and stuff. But going through my notes and going through it, I actually think it's a decent show from start to finish. So I know I'm going on a day late, so there might not be no live. And to all those people that, either way, you'll catch up to it either way. But this is Next Day Notes, the Kill Tony after show, the Kill Tony review show. Usually the next day we review it from our notes. Me and my buddy Branden will be going forward doing the show. I took the show from Keith. Keith gladly gave it to me because he is going after a Brawl Stars career out there in Wisconsin. But let's just go through it because I feel like shit. This is Kill Tony, the second Netflix special, Mayhem at Madison Square Garden. He had the guests Matt Rife and Mark Norman. Matt Rife's, all the girls love that dude, so he was why not bring him out? And also, Mark Norman is a genuine, pretty decent guest. I think Mark Norman's one of the funnier comedians out there today. I love Mark Norman. He's hilarious. And the funniest thing to come up next is Nate Diaz, the UFC badass Nate Diaz, was going to be the bear, which gets the comedians off stage, but he was not used at all. He had a pretty badass graphic of a bear taking his hat off and being Nate Diaz with a bunch of razor sharp teeth. That was pretty cool. Other than that, the show, I'm going to go ahead and tell you biasly, the arena shows I am not a fan of. I never really have been a fan because they're designed differently than the typical Kill Tony episodes. But with that being said, this actually, I hope y'all have seen it if you're watching this. This took me by surprise because out of all the Kill Tony arena shows, I think this is one of the best ones. So maybe they finally find a formula or something. We're going to go through these notes and I'm going to learn together with y'all live. Under the weather, sick as a dog. Trying to figure out what made this episode so special. So let's stick around. And I'll tell you, next week is going to be different. It's going to be the desk. I already got a lot set up, y'all. I'm putting 100% of my effort into this show. It's just today was not the day. We start off with David Lucas. David Lucas, which is my man Keith, who gave me this show. He loves David Lucas. And I love to hear what Keith's got to say about it. Hi, how you doing? No, I do not play Fortnite. I'm way too old for that, I feel like. But it's cool if you play Fortnite. But we're here talking about Kill Tony. Anyway, so David Lucas, I gave him a 3.5 mics out of 5. His set was funny. Black magic joke, turning a dove into a spicy chicken sandwich. Good start. It was a great start to the show. It was funny. And which is really, I feel like it was reversed because usually Martin Phillips is the start, but he comes on next. Martin Phillips was after David Lucas. And, of course, David Lucas and Tony and Mark Norman and Matt Rife roast each other back and forth. And it went good because Daryl Hammond wasn't on that panel. Daryl Hammond would have been on that panel. David Lucas would have had to run for his fucking money. And so they're not going to make that mistake again because Daryl Hammond is. So What games I do play? I guess I don't really play no games. I played a game of YouTube, trying to figure this shit out. But keep playing. Keep playing Fortnite. Hopefully you're good at it. If I was on Fortnite, I'd be playing as Thanos, no doubt. Anyway, next was Martin Phillips. Martin Phillips, his set was a 3 out of 5 golden mics, which Martin Phillips is hands down my favorite golden ticket winner. But he pitched a Hitler show called Good Hitler, and that was the funniest thing. So I thought that was hilarious because he pitched it because the Netflix execs and all that's in attendance or whatever. So that was great. Really, really enjoyed that. So after Martin Phillips, we had our very first bucket pool, and her name was Sabrina Douglas, and she gets booed off the rip, yo. They were ripping her a new asshole, right? That's another thing about the arena shows. They are hard to please. They boo as soon as if you come out there and you look funny, they're gonna boo your fucking ass. And they did. They booed her, but she said she was Canadian, so that's always a instant boo on there. But after Sabrina Douglas, she gets a 1.5. I give the girl effort. She went out there, she done it. She's done better than I did. Hi, how you doing? And little Ginja Ninja, what's up? Martin, but after Sabrina Douglas, we had Hans Kim. I'm doing great, man. We're sitting here doing a review of Madison, Mayhem at Madison Square Garden. If you're just tuning in, I'm trying to tune in to keep up with the live chat. I'm just trying to get through this review. I'm sick, so we're going to just keep going. After Sabrina Douglas, we had Hans Kim. Now, anybody that, which I'm sure most of the audience that comes back will know, I am not a Hans Kim fan. Have been notorious, gave Hans Kim a lot of crap. I'm giving Hans Kim a 4 out of 5 tonight, y'all. His set was funny. He killed it. It was great. That's what comedy is, and that's what everybody knows that watches this knows that I'm all about the initial 60 seconds of stand-up comedy. Hans Kim crushed it. 4.0 out of 5. I mean, he talked about it driving through a protest, and he said the funniest thing about how black people don't always charge their phones before they go out. They charge their phones wherever they go out to. Which is so true and so racist and so funny that I love it. It was great. After that, we had Jim Norton, which is a legend. They had a Legends bucket. Jim Norton came out, and I give him a 4.0 off the rip. His shit was funny as hell too. So give him a 4.0. Go back and watch the special because they don't really have like a 60 seconds. The Legends, they come out here and just pretty much do as long as they want. But I'm rating it anyway, 4.0 for Jim Norton. Our second bucket pool, which is probably the best bucket pool of the night, it's her and another, but it's Allison Persky. She came out and killed it, Bo. At 3.0 set is what I'm giving her. But she had the arena laughing the entire time. And for a bucket pool, pretty much a nobody to come out here and get constant laughs throughout the whole set at Madison Square Garden, nonetheless. Hey, kudos to her, man. Allison Persky. I hope I ain't butchering your name. I'm sick. Sorry, we're just getting through it. Aaron Belial came out with a freaking $500 headset. I give him a 3. I just got the question, what happened to his eye patch? He had an eye patch last time, didn't we? Wasn't he coming out like a pirate? Something about his eye was going bad. Did they fix it? Anyway, 3.0. I'm not the biggest Aaron Belial fan either, but it's kind of hard to say that considering his condition. But his comedy just kind of ain't for me, I reckon. But he got given a 3.0 tonight. He came out there with preloaded jokes that were constantly hitting the punchlines. Then we had our third bucket pool, which is Jim Martin. We're not even going to talk or waste time about Jim. 1 star, just because he went on stage. I'm giving him a 1. Then we had Dave Attell, who came out there and was out there for a while. Dave Attell, the legend, used to do the Insomnia show on Comedy Central. That's where I know him from. He's getting old, you can tell, but he's still kicking it, son. And I give him a 4. Just because he can't go no lower than a 4, because it's damn David Tell. You don't go lower than a 4 with David Tell. Biased, sure. We'll say it's biased, but he killed it, man. Very, very impressed. Then next bucket pool was our fourth bucket pool was named Branden Jim, and he is getting a number one. He came out there, he tried a dead baby joke in an arena full of fucking people in New York. Dead baby joke didn't work. So give him a one. He made it to the stage. Good for him. Then the long-awaited return of Cam Patterson finally came out, and I do not have a fucking lighter. Anyway, Cam. That's another reason why this is not going well. Anywho, Cam Patterson came out. Give me 2 seconds, people. Didn't need 2 seconds. Just needed a second. How about that? Cam Patterson comes out for the long-awaited return. He's been doing a movie, people. That's right, Cam Patterson, your boy, has made it, and he's doing a movie. And he gets a 3. He's getting a 3 out of the set. It wasn't groundbreaking. Happy to see him back. Happy to see him doing successfully. I am a Cam Patterson fan, even though my boy Keith wasn't. But, you know, I do say that Cam leans on a crutch, but he didn't lean on it too much tonight. He did good. Joe DeRosa, they come out the Legends bucket next, and he's getting a 3.5. Joe DeRosa, I did not know was that funny. I unfortunately haven't watched too much of Joe DeRosa. I only know him through the show. His appearances on Kill Tony, so that makes me that's me slacking in my department. But he gets a 3.5. It was funny. Yeah, it was funny. It's about sending the wrong text too soon, and Joe DeRosa pretty much had it out. After that, we had another bucket pull. It was Ryan P. Flaherty. I gave him a 3. His his joke about his last search would be like help, vacuum, dick. That was funny because he looked like that type of person. Between him and Allison Persky, those are the best 2 bucket pools tonight, and that's pretty much the only bucket pools we got. That was it. After that, there wasn't no more bucket pools. So that's the reason I don't really care about the arena shows too much. The bucket pools are cut like drastically in half. We've had 5 bucket pools. That's it. 5, because he's filling in all the other stuff, because he's got a big arena full of thousands of people. He's on Netflix. He's got to pack it, and he's not welcoming the chaos of the bucket. So it's a different thing, and that's fine. It could be a different thing, because it is. Because you're not. The whole point of the Kill Tony is the bucket, and the bucket is completely nerfed during the arena shows. And like right now, that was our last bucket pool, and there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more comedians before the show's over. But the bucket's done. So there's only 5 bucket pools through the whole thing. And that's why I'm saying the arena shows are different. They're 100% different. But I guess when you're in like where they usually have it at the mothership, and they have maybe a 400 seat audience, or maybe even less than that, I don't know. It's different than when you're at a place that holds 10,000s. You know what I mean? So it's a totally different show. But out of all the arena shows, this one here I have enjoyed. And it's hard to say that I enjoy because I'm sick as a dog. I was programmed to hate this, but it was a delight surprise. Especially going back and checking my notes and stuff. Ari Maddie comes out next, which my old co-host loves. This is his favorite, Ari Maddie. I give him a 3.0. Ari Maddie does his typical thing, and he did well. So and like I say, I'm assuming most of y'all have went and watched it. Go back and watch it. It's on Netflix. Watch it. It's all right. This is just a review of what. Daryl Hammond is next. Daryl Hammond killed it. Daryl Hammond, out of all the legends, is probably the number 1 legend tonight. Daryl Hammond, I'm giving him 4 out of 5, but he definitely destroyed it. It was funny. His whole set, yeah, and that's the silly slapstick, out of nowhere humor that Daryl Hammond offers. It's just fucking hands down second to none some of the funniest shit I've seen, and I was very happy to actually see him perform. Usually Daryl Hammond's on the panel, which is great because he'll perform throughout the night. But this was actually him performing some material of his own, and so Daryl Hammond, as it comes to the legends or whatever, even he's number 1 tonight. Fiona Colley comes out, and sadly I give her a 2.5. She had one solid joke, and that was it, and that's fine. Fiona Colley is. I love Fiona Colley. I'm biased. Her speech impediment she has, whatever, just gives her a southern drawl. She's right. It makes her sound like she's from the South. I know girls that sound like her that I see every day. So, it's a hippie. It's not necessarily a southern drawl. It's a hippie southern drawl. It's got to be a hippie, too. She fits the part. But she gets a 2.5, which is still a passing grade. But she, still love Fiona Colley. I ain't got no bad words about her. Then we get a very big surprise. I was not expecting this. I thought maybe it was. I was not expecting this at all. Timmy No Breaks pops out, the Legends bucket of all things, which is funny to me. 3.5 set, which the whole shtick, he's not a fucking, Dice Clay ripoff. He's not. He's just because they got the same accent. He is a flipping caricature of a bad comedian, so bad that it's funny. And he plays the character to a fucking T, man. We gave him, me and my boy Keith gave him a silver ticket because we couldn't give him a golden ticket, but we gave him a silver ticket when he didn't his first appearance. You can go back and watch on Kombucha's channel. That's where this show extends from. It's coming from the Kombucha channel. My boy Keith gave me the show, told me to keep it going on my channel, so I'm gonna do it until until I get enough people watching. Which next week I'm going all out. This week I'm just sick. But Timmy No Breaks gave you a silver ticket before anybody else did. I was rooting for you before the shtick, before everybody started talking about you. I was like, this guy's it. And eventually everybody caught on to what I caught on to. So Timmy No Breaks, 3.5 set, even though his set is designed to be bad. And he freaking rocked that arena. So he is a world-class act. Whatever he's done, he's freaking got it perfect. Then we had the little fatal four-way thing they did last time on an arena show between David Jolly, Jack Shaw, Serena Thiel, who was on the last Netflix episode, the Kill or Be Killed thing they did, and then Danny Martinello. Danny Martinello, I remember the episode he came on. He came on a regular episode of Kill Tony, and his energy, he just wouldn't shut up, and he was funny. And he ended up earning him a spot in this. And he actually won it. Danny Martinello, the nobody in that arena knew. You had David Jolly and you had Jack Shaw, which is two golden ticket winners that everybody knows in that crowd. Everybody in that arena knew who those two comedians were. Serena Thiel, if they were diehard, like Kill Tony said, they would remember her from last episode on Netflix, which I didn't. But that's where she came from. But Danny Martinello won it, and he won a spot on the New Year's episode. So good for him, man. He's Canadian, too. You can tell. They didn't say it, because if they had said it, he would have lost. Jim Ross makes an appearance. He says, goes out there and kisses Tony's ass in front of the whole arena. I'm proud of you, buddy. You're doing a great thing. Come out there dressed like a ninja with nunchucks. And, but Jim Ross is the man. He's the GOAT in my book, anyway. Ain't nobody can roast better than him, but he's getting old too. But don't worry, Jim, we got you. And they closed the show with old Will Montgomery, who I give a 3.0 set. He wasn't his best. He was kind of ill. Didn't seem like he was all that prepared. Didn't have the usually back and forth that him and Tony have was completely absent this time. So I don't know what was the cause of that. Kind of a bummer in my book, to be honest with you. Because why in the heck the main shtick that Will Montgomery's good, Will Montgomery's Keith's favorite. So Keith's probably screaming at the screen, Trey, what are you talking about? It was great. It wasn't, man. It wasn't, Keith. It wasn't. Will Montgomery's set wasn't even all that great. 3.0, which is a passing grade. I laughed a couple of times. And maybe it's because I'm sick. I don't give a shit. That's my rating. But the whole interview part where he actually tends to excel due to Tony's handouts was completely absent of this. Maybe it was because it was towards the end of the show. Maybe they're like, okay, they're not going to get a bigger pop than Timmy No Breaks. And they knew that. And that's what they should have done, is put Timmy No Breaks at the end. That would have killed it. Nobody would have saw that coming. But that was the end of the show. That was the end. After that, usually at the end of these arena shows, they usually come out and they kind of teased the next thing. That didn't happen. It just kind of ended flat. I think the funniest thing was the sparks started coming down, and Tony's like, "Oh shit, those are real sparks." And that was it. It just kind of ended flat. It was a real flat ending. So yeah, once Timmy No Breaks was on there, that was the peak. They had a little fatal four-way. They should have did the fatal four-way before Timmy. Brought Timmy out and then kept it. But that being my bias, that being my opinion, overall the whole thing the whole arena thing as a whole, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. It was probably the best arena show they've done. It was definitely better than the last one. The last one I thought was god awful. But you know, it's not the same as Kill Tony. This is not why I do the review show. I do this review show because I like the actual show of Kill Tony. I like the chaos the bucket brings. I like the small room catching the magic in there. You ain't gonna catch the magic out there in a big arena. It's just not gonna fucking happen, man. It's just not. So I understand why they do big arenas because they can sell tickets and stuff. They just got to figure their format out a little bit better because it's not Kill Tony. This is not Kill Tony that you watch every Monday night. This is not what you see every Monday night. It's just not. Any of the arena shows are never going to be that. They're never going to sit there and do an arena show where they sit there and draw 15 to 16 people out the crowd and see if they can freaking make a whole arena laugh. It's not going to happen. So it's not the same thing. But with that being said, what they did this time was their best attempt at it, in my opinion. And it was, because and it is different. I guess I almost wish they would call it like something a little bit different, like Kill Tony presents something, you know, because it's not, it's just totally different. And I understand. And I ain't hating on Tony Hinchcliffe for this. I ain't hating on nobody for this. I mean, but it's kind of misleading to an extent, saying we're bringing you Kill Tony to a bigger scale. Okay, if you're bringing me Kill Tony on a bigger scale, but nerfing the bucket pools, it's not the same thing, man. It really isn't. You're bringing me Kill Tony regulars. You're bringing me Kill Tony golden ticket winners. You're bringing me great minutes from people like the legends that's been on Kill Tony, but it's just not Kill Tony. Kill Tony is meant to be at the Vulcan gas station or in the damn or the mothership in a smaller room confined where you can feel the energy and stuff. Yep, 40, whatever that means. And I'm not 40. Nowhere near it. All right, but but I just want to get that point across. I enjoyed, out of all the arena shows, I enjoyed this one. But it was not like, I did not feel like I wasn't watching Kill Tony, man. I was watching the best comedians from Kill Tony in a Kill Tony format. Okay, buddy, sure, and I don't. All right, but it just ain't. It just wasn't. It just wasn't Kill Tony. I just want to get that. I don't understand that comment, but I'm not going to disallow you. That just threw me a monkey wrench there. Anyway, back on to what I was talking about. The arena show is not the show. It's not. It's just not. And I wish they would change. But it is. It's and the best. It was the best attempt at being that tonight. The best attempt of it trying to capture the magic to Kill Tony. Some of the best. Because let me tell you, like, that the episode a couple weeks ago where you had Tony Pepperoni and you had the guy that came out like Mitch Keegan is his name. He's a great comedian. He's not a Mitch Hedberg impersonator, but he sure does act like him. When you had all these people come out, that was a great episode of Kill Tony. One of my favorites in a long time. There was a bunch of shitty comedians and a bunch of great comedians, and it was all about the bucket pools. And it was so good because you didn't know what you was getting, and you got some weird shit, you got some great shit, you got some bad shit, and mix it all together in a pot with Tony's banner is what makes Kill Tony. And that was great. That episode was way better than this arena show. This arena show was great for the people that was there in the arena. And that's great. I love that. But it's just not the same. But out of all the arena shows, this is definitely the best attempt. This is definitely the best one. And that's about my review. That's my review. Sorry. Next Tuesday at 9, this will be a totally different format, totally different show. It'll be me and my buddy Branden Best. We'll be at a desk. There'll be a camera on both of us. I'm planning on having a screen behind us where I can do my little play-by-play and just go through the episode from the night before and just show and have somebody to talk to live. I feel like that's what made the show, was me and Keith actually being able to banter with each other. And that was going to happen for this episode, but I got sick. And I just didn't, tonight, I just wasn't able to set the whole thing up. And I was just like, you know what, since I'm not thrilled about the arena show, we're just going to go ahead and get one out of the way. So we're getting one out of the way, guys. Next week, it'll be me and my boy Branden Best. And it'll be two guys side by side with the monitor behind us, and we're going to go through the episode. We'll break it down. We'll both rate it, and it's going to be a better episode. So if you stick around, hopefully y'all do. I'm going to do this every week. It's going to be probably my main thing I focus on from here on out. This is, for those who are new, subscribe. It's Trey Creates. We will be doing a Kill Tony review as next day notes, the Kill Tony review show every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. Eastern Standard Time, and then in between there, and I do my little comedy skits and stuff. It's just the past 2 weeks, y'all, I have been sick as a dog, and hopefully I stay better and be better. Thank you for tuning in. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, all that nonsense. But that's my take on Mayhem at Madison Square Garden. Mayhem at Madison Square Garden. The second Netflix special. There's supposed to be a third. Let's see what they cook up for the third one. Hopefully it's not in another arena. Maybe, my guess right now is they're probably going to wait and just let the New Year's episode be it. And I hope not. I hope they come up with something completely different. It'll do. They got so many creatives. Like Tony, you're smart, man. You do a skit show. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's got so many comedians at his finger picking that he could do something great. Let's do something different and let Kill Tony be Kill Tony, man. Let that be your bread and butter. But anywho, I am Trey J Creates. This is the Trey J Creates YouTube channel. Every Tuesday, not on Wednesdays like tonight. So sorry, we're not gonna be sick no more. I promise. But we'll be back next Tuesday at 9 for the next episode of Kill Tony, and it'll be me, my boy Branden Best, and it'll be a higher production. It won't be on my phone. So catch you next week, guys, and leave a like, leave a comment, share it, and shout out to my boy Keith on the Kettle Moraine Kombucha Farm channel. This is his baby, and he's going to do his own little thing, and he just wants me to carry the torch. I'm gonna carry the torch, and I'm not gonna burn it down, Keith. Try not to. Anyway, stay, I don't know, humble. Stay alive. Don't get sick. Comedy is a dying breed. It's not in movie theaters no more. So keeping comedy alive is something that's very important. And me, I'm eventually attempt stand-up. I tend to do skits and stuff, but comedy is mainly the one thing keeping me going every day. So keeping it alive is very important. So spread the love, spread the comedy, spread a joke, and laugh. Because you ain't laughing, shit sucks. Anyway, Keith, hope I did you proud, buddy. But this is the last solo. Next week, 10 times better. All right, now I'm going to go slightly die and get over this sickness. Y'all boys be good. And girls. And you're degenerates. Let's just keep it real.